Hey, it's Jessica Weaver and I'm back. I was away all last week on vacation with my hubby and I have to tell you, I feel like I'm out of work shape and I'm out of mom shape. I was getting my kids off to school this morning, like, oh, I'm exhausted already. I need to get back into the shape of getting up, working out, getting the kids ready, getting myself ready, packing the lunches, like doing all these things that just become second nature. But when you're out of it for a week, wow, it makes a difference. And then even going through emails this morning, like, wow, that was a 2-hour task. I usually can cruise through them, but wow, need to get back into work and mom shape, that's for sure. But what was really cool today, it's June 1st, and I don't know about you, I'm walking around my halls without my mask, going to the bank without my mask. It feels like a fresh beginning. It's June 1st, it's starting to feel like summer. We just had a nice long weekend. I had my first trip with just my husband in about 2 years. No masks when we came home. Feels amazing. And it just feels like a fresh start. And I know all weekend long, maybe it was the rain and the gloom, I was like, it's a little down. I'm like, another month, can I handle this? We have a lot of things going on. And today was nice to get organized and to plan out what are my big projects, where am I focusing this month. And so what I encourage you to do, this is what we do with the Lift Women during our first strategy session, is we start to look at what is their overall plan. Let's chunk it down into phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and then each month, what are we doing? What are we focusing on so that we are building properly? Whether it's launching their business, a course, retiring, right? What do we need? What are the moving pieces that we need to get in place? And that's what I was doing today for myself. And what was so cool, I was going through my dashboard that I love. Gail Kreitzer, love you, love your mental organization. And like, I need to update this. And what was really cool, I had down goals, my 3 to 5 year goals that I wrote down in 2020. So a year ago, I wrote down these goals and I'm like, wow, I just hit all of my goals in a year. Not just my goals from last year that I hit as well, but my 3 to 5 year goals I hit. And the reason I'm saying this is the power of the pause, which my one coach, Brittany, amazing. She has a summit coming up. Check it out, Divine Self Summit, that we'll be posting about because I'm one of the keynote speakers. She talks about the power of the pause. And I was sitting here, I'm like so grateful for my business for last month. I had another huge month. The most money that I brought in with my businesses. Last month, I made money while I was on vacation, which is all part of Money Empire. Shout out to our Money Empire course. I teach you how to do this. Link in bio. Go to jessicaweaver.com, courses, and you'll find it. Anyway, power of the pause. And I paid off our second mortgage, paid off my car. I earned $500,000 last year, over $500,000 last year. Bought Eric a car. I bought his dream car in beginning of April. I bought his dream car. We added $10,000 extra to Aruba debt, and we hit our $1 million net worth goal. That was my 3 to 5 year goals, and we hit them all last year. Pretty crazy, and that's how fast it happens. But what's interesting is I had to write new goals, and I'm keeping these. I'm just adding to them so I can keep track of the progress, or what am I not progressing on and why? Where's the disconnect? Because that's always a good check-in as well. But I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying this because I created new goals for this year that were above and beyond, what I set in play last year. And I'm like, wow, all the things that I set in play last year are happening this year. And I was getting more and more frustrated because I wasn't hitting the goals that I set in play this year. That makes sense. So what I called in, what I manifested, set in the intention for last year, I hit this year. But I was getting frustrated because I wasn't hitting the new ones I set this year. But that's probably going to happen in a few months. And I'm starting to see those set in motion. So there's a power of the pause to, one, reflect and be grateful for all you've accomplished and all you've received. 2, there's a power of the pause for everything to get in motion. because we need to figure out what is it that we want. And this is what I help women get very clear on what it is you're calling in. The more clear you are, the more you can attach your feelings to it, the more you can feel it and see it and taste, smell, right? All your senses, the more it's going to come in. But if you aren't clear on it, if you just keep asking for more money or a raise, but you're not really sure on why you want that, you're not sure on what it feels like to have that amount of money, you aren't even clear on the amount being specific, like you could see mine are pretty specific goals, then it's not going to happen. It's too vague. But when we get super clear on them, this is what we teach in the Money Empire course, it really helps. It makes a huge difference. But what I noticed last year was God kept closing certain doors. And while I couldn't understand why it was happening, I was getting really frustrated and trying to control things and getting down the dumps and in the swamp, as we call it, right? You're getting frustrated, stressed out, overwhelmed. You're like, I just put all this work into something. It's not working out. What's happening? But last year and into early this year, he was closing a lot of doors. Now I can see why it was happening. And now he's opening new doors and new opportunities. So at the same time as he's closing them, he's closing the bad doors. The doors that we put ourselves into that we probably shouldn't have. Or maybe we just shifted. Our priorities shifted, our values shifted. We discovered more and more of who we are and what we want in this life. So now he's opening new doors. So there's the power of that pause as well, that as we start to stretch ourselves, we're putting ourselves at a different level to receive those things in, right? Every time I stretch and I reach and I overextend myself, I think that's the best way. Every time I overextend myself, I will rise up to hit those goals. And right here, right, you're starting to rise. It's like right at this little last, you start to get really stressed out, really, really overwhelmed. This happens to me. Not this weekend. It happened to me. I'm like, I was right there, stressing myself out, and then I hit the goals. And that's what's crazy. That's the trust that we really work on here. So anyway, I want to do a different prayer today. New prayer. Ooh, this is going along with my new money course. Lift. We are refurbishing Lift into a 10-piece course. And then there's ongoing live training after that. But we really need to get you to the right energy level to be among these other women, to just keep lifting and elevating together. So today, a sneak peek into the new course, coming out with my new book, Confessions of a Money Queen. Anyway, Divine Beloved, help me take down the wall that separates me from my inner child, to take care of her like never before, to give her a voice and allow her to talk freely to me. Give me the passion and compassion and patience that I need to take care of myself like never before. This is really important because there probably is an inner child in you that is screaming for help and is preventing you from moving forward with your money. For me, my inner child is terrified of responsibilities. Because responsibility means less time at home, right? These are all the lies that I tell myself and society tells me. I won't have enough time at home with my kids. I won't be able to be a good wife. I won't have time for myself. I'm just going to run myself ragged. Growth means more time that I have to put into work. All lies. All lies. But that was my inner child screaming out. So whenever I have a really busy week ahead, on Sunday nights, my inner child is like screaming. And it's what makes me open up the wine or have a lot of chocolate. Right? That's how she acts out or shop. And now I know. So it's crazy. The more attention I give her, the less I end up spending money, the less I drink, and the less I eat sugary things. Isn't that crazy? So give your inner child a little TLC this week, today. Let her talk to you and let her know what is her fears, because she's holding you back in one way or another by not giving her this attention. Anyway, I think that's enough for today. God bless you, and I hope you get to soar today. I hope you get to fly and know what it feels like to just be on top of the world, receiving all that you've set in motion, and to be okay when doors are closed because there are better ones waiting for you. And it's right when we think it's not going to happen that it happens. It does. And that's what builds our trust. It helps us build the conditioning and calling it in. And now for me, right, I just expect to earn this amount of money. I expect to earn thousands of dollars while I'm away or while I'm sleeping. I expect it. And that's the reality that I want to live in. My husband tells me all the time, you live in a bubble. I'm like, that's the bubble I choose to live in, because look at this amazing life that this bubble is building me and God. So you can choose to live in the negative bubble, or you can choose to live in the positive. The more you live in the positive, the more you're becoming a vibrational match for the things that you are calling in. So even if it isn't happening, think about it. Act as if it is happening. Act as if it's already happened, even better, and to live in those feelings. And that's what I'm calling in for you this week, for me this week as well. All right. God bless. Let's soar today together, okay?